So they're with loose with just the hoses on here, and you notice that there are 3 of these clasps, just like regular door clasps here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this thing, it's gonna set right here in the front, and then there's 3 holes that those line up into. So we're gonna put those on. So it's just kind of setting here now. And then I'm gonna lock all 3 of these little latches here. And then with all 3 latched, that's solid there. Then we have these 2 rubber mats here just to catch the drips. Now we have tap handles. So if you remember how you hooked them up, these just screw on the top like this. Now I do like to put the names kind of in line. It's very tempting to just go straight on like that, but I find that people usually have a better shot here if you kind of turn them in line with how you pull it. Additionally, sometimes these are loose like this. There's a little jam nut underneath, and you twist that against it so to keep it from twisting there. So it's kind of a 2-hand operation like that. Now, if you like something runs out or you're not using the extra ones, I'll set all that extra stuff in the top here like that. In here, there is this is a chalk marker, a Sharpie for writing on solo cups, and then this is a little wrench that if something comes loose or something, which it shouldn't, but in case it does, this is kind of a little wrench that is used to move that stuff. Lastly, in the little tool kit here is a wrench. So we haven't hooked any gas up to it yet. So then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our cylinder here. And I typically like to have our cylinder, if it's a place where it can get knocked over, to put a little strap or something else, or tuck it away where it's not going to get bumped. So then I'm going to take and start by just loosely threading that on. Just a regular, sorry, kind of need 2 hands. It's just a regular thread on here, of course. This will need to be wrench tight on here. I'm not talking about like 1,000,000 pounds of pressure or anything, but it's kind of wrenched on there. And then if you're not sure what's going on, there's another little jam nut here. So if you set the pressure perfectly, it'll hold it. But I like to give it a few backwards cranks, just a minus. Then you can turn on the CO2. This tank is probably just a hair. It's getting close here, but now it's like all off. There's a valve here that can turn it off, and then there are valves up here. So you notice that right here, this top gauge, that's how much pressure is going to the tanks. 5 to 10 PSI for dispensing. We're not worrying about carbonating this. It's already carbonated. So we just need, and so we're going to turn that to the plus side until we get up to, just under 10 PSI. And then if you want to jam nut it, you can. Or you can just kind of turn that and give it a little, and then that's it. Then that'll keep up with everything that we're doing. If for some reason stuff's coming out too fast or super foamy, the issue could be just too much pressure. And finally, then once you have all that in, you can close the lid like that. And then there we have our bar. It is starting to show a little more wear and tear. There are some stuff I'd like to maybe change for version 2.0, but I'm going to run this one out a while before I worry about that. So now it's time to put this stuff away. So to put it away, even at the end of the night, even if you don't take stuff apart, turn off your air and close all 4 of these valves. What that's going to do is if something's accidentally open, it's going to prevent you from losing all the CO2 out of your tank. If you do lose all the CO2 out of your tank, it's not like it's really the end of the world. You're just not going to have any CO2 for your next time or your party. So always shut it off, even if you don't disconnect anything else. This thing will hold it with a full load of ice for probably about 5 to 6 days at the most, which is actually pretty darn good. So there's 3 inches of insulation on all the sides and bottom and 1.5 inches on the top. So to put it away, we're going to open it up. And I'm going to show you for transport how it's all tucked away and flat for transport, because when we first started, we're going to make sure we have our tap handles off here. Set all those aside. You know, you can transport it full of your beverage. It will just be very heavy, so you'll either need a hand truck or pallet jack or a lot of guys to help. These are solidly into strong members that can lift it with it full if you have the manpower. So undo the clasps down below. And then this right here comes loose and it'll just lay flat like that. I like to put that in first. Then I'll take and put in our rubber mats, our tap handles, any extra tools, including the wrench. Thank you, Timmy. All go in here. Then we can close the lid here. And then I'll take this and I'll tuck it in to the top like that. Thank you, Timmy. And then the wings fold up. And I'll just move the hose kind of out of the way of the wings there. And then these little braces fold forward. And there we go, all compact. All right, and that is the full set of take up and take down instructions. And like I said, when I get this back to my shop, I'll typically open it up like you first saw it in the first of the video, just to make sure everything's dry. But as far as for the event, it is typically I've seen a little better results setting it up the day before, letting everything chill and settle. I do have all the brews. This is my regular setup. I have all the brews in the fridge. You can see how the tap handles look when they're set up normally. But when they're iced, it seems to be just slightly cooler. Then there's the tank for the kegerator, and then that same manifold there on the kegerator. So, all right, that's about it.